men, it all starts with keeping your eyes clean, and you start working on Yirat Shamayim. To get Yirat Shamayim, you have to learn stuff like this. You have to learn Gemara, you have to learn Musar, regularly, every day. Not once a week is not enough. Even if you learn for 24 hours a day, 1 day a week, somehow, and the other 6 days you're not learning, it's not enough. It's better that you learn 2 hours a day than everything in 1 day. Every day, because your neshama needs food every day, not just once a week. You know, it's like if I told you, listen, don't eat every day, just eat once a week, but eat the whole day. Steaks, one steak after another. You won't survive. You need to eat every day. Yeah, there's a few Tehillim. There's a few Tehillim that you can say. It's not necessarily a bracha. There's a few Tehillim that I'll, if you want, text me and I'll send them to you, that you can say to help you as far as protect your eyes. But the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself with Gam HaBrit is when you learn Torah, especially difficult Torah, your brain starts working differently. And just like the Rambam says in here actually, it's Ilchot Isurei Be'ah, Perek 22, Halakha 21. When the same place that he said that only an empty brain makes this type of sin, in essence, he's also telling us that if you fill your brain with Torah, you're never going to be bored. If you're learning Torah every day, even if it's only an hour, 2 hours a day, your brain is always going to be functioning. Oh, you know what, yesterday Rashi said this, or, you know, your brain's always going to be working on that. If your brain's only working on business, on the material world, very easy to sin. But if your brain has some Torah in it, on a regular basis, it's going to function differently, and you're not going to think about that stuff. But obviously it requires some work. You have to do it every day. So Torah, especially difficult Torah, and obviously difficult, not just it's difficult and you never understand it, but difficult until you understand it, is the type of stuff that's going to fix your brain and neshama and get you away from seeing all of this stuff, thinking about it in all ways. Second thing is obviously have a good relationship with your wife. If you're mean to your wife, then you can't blame her for not wanting to look at you. You know, some guys think that the wife is like a slave or something. I don't know what happened to this world, but people treat their wife like they think it's a plant. They can move it wherever they want. You know, you have to treat your wife like a human being. You have to take care of yourself. You can't expect her to be excited to be with you when you don't take a shower more than once a week. You know, you have to take care of yourself. Same thing with women. I'm telling you guys, this is the type of stuff I hear. No, I don't want to be with him. Why? He smells. Okay, well, take a shower. Why could you tell him? No, I feel bad telling him. Who's going to tell him then? Who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him? Tell him, listen, I refuse to be with you because you smell. Okay, so the guy's going to start taking showers 10 times a day. He wants to be with his wife. If he's not going to be with his wife, he's going to sin. So the wife, thinking she's nice to him by not, hurting his feelings, being politically correct by not hurting his feelings, she's leading him to sin. Enough with the political correctness. Tell people with the truth. You could say it in a nice way. You could even say it in a funny way and joke around privately. But say the truth. Just say what it is. Enough with this garbage that's in the world with all this political correctness. No, I don't want to hurt the feelings. Why hurt the feelings? You're telling the guy something that's going to help him. Okay, so the surgery's going to hurt. I understand. But if we don't do the surgery, the guy's going to die. What are you going to do? I know it's going to hurt. The recovery's going to hurt. The surgery's going to hurt. Everything's going to hurt. But eventually he's going to live. So it's better that it hurt now and be better later than no later. So tell people the truth. The biggest thing that you can do for all overall connection to HaShem is take care of his children. In a woman's case, two major things. One, modesty. You have to be modest. There is no other option. You have to be modest. If you're married, you have to cover your hair. not with a wig that reaches the floor. Kisui rosh, appropriate, look modest, don't drag it, grab the attention of the public. The only one that should see your beauty is your husband. The wigs of today are not kosher. Even the rabbis that say that wigs are kosher, or used to say that wigs are kosher, would never say that the wigs of today are kosher. Because the wigs of today look better than natural hair.
That's why I can never understand that.
So it's nonsense. No big rabbi in the world today agrees with today's wigs. No one. Even if you tell me no, but his own wife wears it. Okay, he has his own problem. Doesn't mean anything. Someone came to Rav Avadia and said, Rav Avadia spoke against wigs all the time. Says there's no place in the Torah that says you're allowed to wear wigs. Whoever said it is making a mistake. You're not allowed to wear wigs. I said, yes, but Kvod Rav, your own granddaughter is wearing a wig. He's like, yes, there's place for her in Gehenom also.
What about the fact that it's made out of human hair?
It's all a problem. The human hair part is because it comes from Avodah Zarah most of the time. There are different traditions in Tibet, in India, and different places in Asia that it's part of idol worship to take off their hair. Idol worshippers. It's idol worshippers, outright idol worshippers. It's part of the tradition to cut off hair as part of idol worship. So women that wear wigs, in many cases, are using idol worship. You're not allowed to benefit from idol worship in any way. Even if it's a gold statue, you're not allowed to benefit from it. Not allowed to use it, not allowed to sell it, not allowed to look at it, nothing. So of course you're not allowed to wear it on your head. But aside from that, it's not modest. It doesn't meet the basic requirement. It's not modest. So women need to understand, yes, I know this is a big tikkun in this generation. No one wants to cover their hair. Everyone wants to look pretty for Steve and Mikey at ShopRite. I understand. But your husband's more important and God is more important. Steve and Mike are going to look at, some other girl. They don't have to look at you. Your husband should look at you. Yeah, that's it. Cover your hair. Cover your body. Your skirt needs to cover your knees after you sit down. Not before you sit down. Then as soon as you sit down, it goes up and becomes a mini skirt. That's not modesty. Skirt, ideally, should cover your ankles even when you're sitting down. But even if it can't, the point is that it needs to cover your knees at the very minimum when you sit down. But not like going like this every 3 seconds. There's a lot of women. You go to like a wedding and it's like every 2 seconds they're all doing sit-ups at the chair. That's to cover it normally. And also, it's not supposed to be that tight. Why? Because if it's tight, then anyone with eyes can see exactly what your body looks like. It has to be loose. That's what modesty is like. That's what HaShem said. It's not me. If it was up to me, I'm a guy. What do you think a guy would want? It's not. Before we did Tshuvah, I would tell my wife, don't wear any clothes. I had no concept. I was an animal. I'm telling you, this is what HaShem wants. Shirts have to cover the elbows at all times. Neckline needs to be covered. Obviously, you have to act like a human being. You can't talk like a truck driver. Speak like a lady. And guys, for heaven's sake, if you're wearing skinny jeans, stop it already. It's mamash, like, enough. And aside from that, whoever you know wears it, tell him something. It's just not appropriate. It doesn't look nice. I don't know who thinks it looks nice, but whatever, I guess it's a taste situation. You gotta stop it. I don't know. It's just one of those things, which, by the way, whoever doesn't know who actually made this style popular, it's not exactly the Mr. Righteous made this style popular. It's a guy named Lil Wayne. He's not the ideal Jew or anything. He's not Yosef HaTzadik. He's the one that actually made it really, really hip, and then obviously other superstars followed, and I think he eventually graduated to just wear women's pants because the men's pants weren't tight enough. I'm serious. So, if you're a nice Jewish boy that fears Hashem, wants to fulfill your purpose in the world, why are you using this guy as an example? Who wants to look like him, B'chlal? We're Jews, we're not goyim. We have to stop acting like them. They're not even supposed to act like that, but nonetheless, we have a higher responsibility. We're supposed to be a light to the nations. This is why HaShem uses anti-Semitism, because with anti-Semitism that there is in the world, we still have huge amount of assimilation, huge amount of intermarriage, huge amount of Jews not keeping anything because they feel like Tommy and Joey are the same as them. Huge amount of people with no interest whatsoever in God. Huge. And it's funny because the Jews are supposed to be the most religious people. We find ourselves as the least religious people. So you have to tell each other something. You got to tell each other the truth. You got to do tshuva. And you build on top of it. There's always, tshuva is always available. It's always available. But you have to be serious. You have to be genuine. And with something like this, for guys, Gemara, learning tough stuff, that's the secret. Stopping it, obviously. And if you're single, get yourself together. Find yourself a wife. And BeEzrat HaShem, all of you, do very soon. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.